Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me in the studio today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Chump. Oh, hey, Guardians.
And Sean Finnegan.
I don't know what to do.
Oh.
Yes, hello.
Trolled you. Let's hear it.
you.
Chomp chomp.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. On today's show, we're going to be talking about those Nightfall changes, some big changes that are coming to PvP, and then we're going to go and talk about a bunch of little subjects that have been going on with Destiny 2 lately. Let's start with the Nightfall. That was the big one. We got to play it this week. Fran, your computer blew up.
I don't want to get into it. But
How many computers blew up? Fran?
two computers I lost this weekend.
Fran, I only ever see you tweeting when your computer has been destroyed, and it seems like a lot.
My stream is so amazing. My
Like, is there some
computers
power surge going on at your house where you're just...
I think a
stuff
motherboard
gets
went bad.
fried?
We don't have to get into it, but I'm playing Nightfall this weekend, 100%. Be sure to check out our Discord, which is where we're going to find people in the Nightfall. We'll leave the link in chat. Anyway,
I actually used the Discord this week because I was looking for a few more for the raid.
how'd it work?
Yeah, it worked well. I actually got one or two people, I think.
We have over 1,000 Guardians in our Discord, and it's growing. And be sure to set your notifications right for Discord's a little tricky, but it's working, and we're getting there, and we want your help. If you're in the clan, please reach out to us there because we want a clan-only room as well to communicate with each other. But the point of this was Sean and I, me because of my computer and just being busy, like we haven't had a chance to play Nightfall yet, right?
Yeah, I have, had a lot of projects going over on Branded, so kind of busy. but got a lot of time to play it this weekend.
CJ and I played, so let me ask you guys, you've heard about it. Are you at least interested in trying it out? Fran, you seem to be into trying out the new Nightfall changes.
Well, for everyone, can you give the overview again of roughly what changed?
So basically, the timer is gone. Now you have about, you have a limited amount of time to go through the Nightfall to keep your multiplier going, and then
for points.
Yes, for points.
Yeah, it's somewhere around the 18 to 20 minute mark.
Yeah.
Got the timer, that annoyance out of there. They added these cards, modifiers.
So you have to run through it once, then you get a card, and you get an emblem. The emblem unlocks various different shapes that you can unlock. You have a 50% chance to unlock the tier 4 one at 80,000, tier 3 at 60, 40, and I believe 20 for the tier 1.
But it is convoluted. Like it's fairly
it's weird.
I'm interested in that. That's why, I just have not had, it's been a rough week, let me say that. Just busy. So I'm really actually excited to come back to it. I heard you said something just before the show, we were talking about it, and you were like, wait, if you add this card and set it to this, it feels like Destiny 1.
Yeah, so what we did was we activated the card because we were going through challenge mode trying to get to 60,000 to get the aura, right? The aura is now tied to your emblem. Some people don't like that. I think it's whatever. Like, just turn off if you don't want it.
Wait a second.
Yeah, so the aura is not separate
the emblem
anymore.
to get the aura.
Correct.
But it fixes a problem where some people in Destiny 1 did not like having the aura over their head all the time when they were walking around. So I understand why they're doing that.
And it's funny, I've been asking, so I'm pausing because you go rewind it shows. I kept, what's this emblem aura rework line? I thought it was two different things. Turns out it's exactly what they said. But for example, if you have the Prestige Raid aura or Trials, are you adding it with its emblem?
You have to have that emblem on.
Yes. Okay, but you put the emblem on and
then it's on your
head. For the week. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. Got caught up in the vanity.
What you can do is once you hit pause or go to your character screen, you hit right, you go over to your inventory, you have this card that you can go into, and it activates the death modifier from Destiny 1 where everybody gets kicked to orbit if you have a team wipe. In the Nightfall. You can increase the difficulty by clicking up or down, and that increases your score multiplier. And you can also add a singe, as they said, for one of the damage types, Void, Solar, or Arc. I recommended Void for this week. Void is probably the easiest one, but I was on Destiny Community Podcast yesterday. Shout out to those guys. It was a really, really fun episode. And they said they went Solar because they were able to get a ton of orb generation, which is what a lot of people are going for to get more points. The way you get points are with kills and with orbs.
Yep.
And the team that won got 222,000 points. That's a lot.
Yeah,
but the way they did it was cheesy.
Caveat, there's a little loot cave
so
exploitation in there.
Apparently you can go off and you can do the lost sector in the middle of the strike, and you can just farm orbs and you're gonna bump up your score.
Yep.
And they cheesed it.
So they cheesed it.
So it's just like Destiny 1.
Exactly.
It's back, everyone.
Well, you still have to complete it. You still have to complete it, but there is a way to cheese it to get the score. So you can like do no multiplier, get up to 60K or 80K probably just by farming orbs.
You pretty much have to have, I think it was one person goes ahead and keeps doing it and doesn't die. And then ultimately they get to a place, and while the two people are in behind, they're farming the sector or whatever. Then they pull you forward, I guess, after a certain amount of time. But yeah, I mean, it's funny that there is cheese in Destiny 2 now.
Not in the way you might think.
Not in the way you might think. It doesn't feel as, I don't know, as beneficial still. I feel like in Destiny 1, when you cheesed, you were accomplishing something. In this game, it still just kind of is like, aw, like you wish it wasn't there in a way. I don't know why.
Well, it's not the intent, I don't think. But
No,
I was just like, I'm assuming we agree that it's a little unfortunate that I was going to see if I can find their names, but it's a little unfortunate that they were able to cheese it for the people that tried really hard and honestly. But to be fair, I think like Destiny, when there's an exploit, we are going to find it.
Yeah, so now that's going to be a new strategy that other teams have to adopt to. Until Bungie finds a fix, I don't think they can fix it. I don't think that's like an easily fixable problem. They would have to block off every lost sector in every strike, and I don't think they can do that because you hop in and you're in a persistent world. Like you can run into blueberries and stuff at the beginning. So I don't think this is fixable. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be an easy adjustment. That said, so I cranked it up to the hardest difficulty. I put on Void Singe, and I got about 3/4 of the way through the strike, and it was awesome. It felt like Destiny 1. It was challenging. I'm like, a challenge in the Nightfall? Oh my God. I actually like this.
Did you feel like you needed to change your loadout at all because of it? Is that happening?
Locked. So, yeah.
Well, but meaning as you went in, did you feel like, you know what, I should have used Telesto?
Well, I turned on Void Singe, so I made sure to go in with void-based weapons at the beginning. But yes, I did consider my loadout going in. Like sword, no, you're playing the stay away game. It's like Halo 3 legendary difficulty, right?
Exactly.
Halo 3 legendary difficulty, you need somebody playing the anchor in the back, and you need the two people
scouts
in the back, and the other guys.
You need to wait for your heavy ammo synth to be up.
Oh,
right. Wait a second.
There it is. Yeah, and
not a lot of heavy.
So that I think that, and as you mentioned that, there's this thing that I don't know if it's ever been confirmed or not, but it actually is valid, that there's a Juggler Perk from Destiny 1 where you basically need to have your weapon equipped to drop ammo for the second weapon. So if you have your primary equipped, it will drop secondary. And if you have your secondary or your elemental,
that's on by default.
It's just in the game balance.
It's in the game meta, we believe. And so
the
issue is
there's no heavy ever.
Well, that as well as you're probably running out of like elemental burn a lot. So I don't know how many times when I was playing last night, I played real quick. Shout out with Teddy and Stev. We played for a little bit. We went through it once or twice. We did wipe and get back because you get a sniper and you're done. Like it's one shot sniper.
If you have that damage modifier.
So it is a challenge, which I will say I like.
To get heavy.
Well, there's a few things.
Period.
A challenge to just get elemental ammo, period, because it rarely ever generates once it's gone, because then you're using your primary until it's gone. Like, there's this really weird
it's harder to use primary without the burn, and absolutely, I could see, and sometimes that's where we don't know in the back end. I feel like sometimes maybe it's harder in the Nightfall versus regular, I don't know. But definitely I've experienced that. I feel like sometimes you're playing Destiny, public areas, on EDZ or whatever, and heavy drops like insane, and I'd never run out of ammo. Then you play something like Nightfall, and you're like, I'm just out of everything.
And I wish, it's a mechanic that I actually like. Like my biggest complaint with the ammo synth system, and Sean, you and I talked about it, I think that one episode a little while back. I actually like it if they strategically place the right enemies strategically throughout it, where you can actually have heavy for certain parts. And if enemies are coming out and there are orange bar or yellow bar enemies, I did not like waiting for a 5-minute synth cooldown. Like I thought it was stupid, especially in raids. You'd wipe and then you're just waiting for like 3 minutes for a cooldown. It
was an inelegant solution for a problem that isn't actually a bad thing. Like I don't mind the idea of like being strapped for ammo sometimes. That was a big thing for Halo a lot. Like you had to be strategic in how you used your weapons in Halo.
Do the weapon juggle.
You would run out of ammo on Legendary because these enemies were bullet sponges. I don't mind the idea that like you're out of ammo. But there needs to be some way to combat it in an elegant way, and it doesn't really seem like there's that way right now.
Just die and have somebody res you, and you have full ammo.
There it is. So no, that's it. So
Like
honestly,
what I said,
that's a
an
strategy.
elegant solution.
Yeah.
I literally, we did that a number of times. I was like, I'm out of ammo. Can you guys res me? Are you close? Yeah, okay. Dead. And sweet. Got all my ammo
Yeah.
back. And that we did that a few times, and that's a legit way to get all your ammo back.
So everybody's cheaters.
More or
Figure it
less.
It's not a
out.
cheat.
Cheese in the orbs.
Not a cheat.
Cheese in
Hey,
the
man, you
res.
do what you gotta do.
Bungie's the cheater.
It's a
for not
rough
giving us
life,
any
man.
ammo.
Just trying to
I
stay
will
alive.
the way I agree with what Sean was saying. I like some of it. I
Yeah.
think they're having trouble getting that balance right, and it shouldn't come to having to feel like you're getting rezzed. And like, yeah, I've definitely in raids and Nightfalls for sure. I'm just like out of primary,
Yeah.
and then like I'm low on energy, and I'm like.
what do
I'm
I
just
do?
out.
Yeah.
I've actually been out of both before.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, that's actually just wrong. That's
You're like,
crazy.
I really need a primary, and all you see is green.
And maybe part of it too is like the way ammo gets picked up, because I'm sure I left some behind, didn't notice, and but anyway, I think the feeling is that they need to adjust that a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
nobody should feel like they got to kill themselves to get ammo. I
So-
mean, seriously.
There is one thing about the Nightfall that I heard a lot of people saying when we did our discussion on Tuesdays. We stream every Tuesday, youtube.com/Fireteam chat. Anyway, one thing that I heard a lot is I'm not coming back for this. And I want to make it clear that I don't think that that's Bungie's goal. And I think it's just that they're going to continually improve the product that is Destiny 2 until this fall.
I mean,
so you're going
I
to
think
see
it's
all
their-
these little updates. Then we're going to see a big relaunch in the fall.
I think it's
of
their
Destiny.
long-term goal, though, right?
Yeah, they're
It
playing
should
the
be
long
their
game.
Long-term goal. Like right now, I don't think it's reasonable for them to be like, we're going to make a bunch of changes, and this is what's going to draw people back. I think I talked about it on last week's episode, but I think it's a twofold strategy, right? Which is like implement a bunch of quality of life changes to the game right now that you know you can reasonably develop and implement over a short period of time.
Yeah.
That makes the game playable and fun for the people who are still playing.
Yeah.
And then later on in the fall, maybe we get like a Taken King style update that gives people who lapsed a real big reason to want to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it is their goal to bring them back. It's just I don't think it's
not with
realistic.
this update. Not
Of
with
course
this.
it is. They want people to come back.
They'll
Wait,
get
let me
people
finish
back
the
to
thought.
check it out.
I didn't get to finish the thought, which
Sorry.
is
I wanna comment.
I think that of course it's their goal. They would hope that these changes would start bringing some people back. But I think that they know the challenge is super tough. That honestly, it's going to take a lot of these changes added up to bring people back. Like that PvP is still March 27th.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm agreeing with you, but like I don't think it's fair to say it's not their goal to bring people back. I think it's their goal every day to bring people back. But realistically, even they're probably like, I don't think Nightfall scoring is going to bring everybody back, guys. Yeah, I don't think they think that.
Well, I think Dado said it really well, the episode he was on, where it's like, they need to do this for small incremental changes because they just need to work towards a better place that the game needs to be. Now,
Stabilize the ship.
And support the current
for sure.
community,
And I think it will get to that point where it does bring people back. But I will say, I think there's smaller and smaller windows as time goes on for that to happen. March 27th, that's a window. September, that's a window.
May.
And May as well. That's another window. Now, there's a lot of games out there that are being really disruptive in the space per se that they didn't have that competition last time. So Fortnite and PUBG doing
Not
as well
even
as
in
they
the
are.
space, right? Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of games, and all I'm saying is right now people have left Destiny and found something I think that works for them. And so I think that it's still going to be a challenge to get those people back because I think those people are kind of like, you know what, the window is there. I'm personally gone, so hopefully there'll be something innovative to bring those people back. And I think there's a few more dates that, and I don't know, I mean, that might be it.
So here's what I think they're doing strategic-wise. Like I said, I think they're going to do all these incremental updates. They're going to do a huge marketing push in the fall, basically relaunch Destiny 2. Because I think in its current state, people are just like, I'm done. They need to rebrand it almost as a relaunch like they did with Taken King.
How are they going to do that when they couldn't do it for Destiny 2?
You
It
don't
was
think
supposed to be a relaunch.
The launch of Destiny 2 was incredibly successful. The game sold very well, and then they stumbled with Curse of Osiris because it feels like it was phoned in.
That's not why people left. It fundamentally, Destiny was mostly the same, but with some of these drastic, let's call it casualized changes, that there was nothing left to do.
If you want to get into it, the business model got in the way of the creative model. They got greedy for money.
Well, and we've talked about this. My only point is, how do you think between, January and let's assume, is it September, when it normally comes out, like how are they going to relaunch? Like what would they even do?
Well, I
this
think
is the challenge,
Activision is like, hey, like we were too strict. Sorry, CJ.
That's good.
We were too strict with pushing to the casual audience. We're already seeing changes to the Nightfall where they're, playing to the strengths of
hardcore
Destiny
is
1,
bringing people back.
bringing us back in, getting us reinterested. And once they make those changes by the fall, they have a chance to relaunch. But they made a mistake with Eververse. That was too much. They played their hand too heavy. They made a mistake by appealing to the casual audience because there's nothing for us to do now. There's nothing left for the hardcore. Even after Curse of Osiris, what am I chasing? Nothing. Yeah, so you don't have that audience. Emblems. You already lost the casual audience, and it was based on a business model that failed.
But what I was trying to get to was, and I understand it better now,
Yeah.
you're talking about a balance relaunch, let's call it, but bringing back the things we loved about Destiny 1 and working on saying, maybe remessage how they're doing it. I was thinking when you said relaunch that like, just reintroduce all this new content.
Or like drastically
reintroduce everybody to Destiny 2.
or like, and in doing so, drastically revamp a bunch of the systems. Like I had said before, when Destiny 2 wasn't out yet, that they could take it one of two ways, right? They could double down on more interesting and intricate and hardcore RPG systems, which maybe you have a smaller audience for that, but they're way more engaged.
They might go much deeper,
Yeah. Or you tailor it, you streamline everything, make the systems easy and simple, and that appeals to a larger audience. You get more people, you make more money, but they're not as engaged, and you run the risk of that audience failing after a while, like the Wii U. Is Destiny 2 the Wii U of
oh, wow.
FPSs?
Not yet.
But like that's
What were
the
you gonna
worry. Is
say,
like
CJ?
it would be
Sorry,
for
I know,
me.
that's
It would
okay.
be really cool if if there were like if all the classes didn't play basically exactly the same across players. There was way more variation and choice.
And nerfed. Like for the most part, a lot of people feel like the classes do not feel as powerful as Destiny 1. So they adjusted them, and not in a good way, because you go, oh, I missed Blade Dancer could do this, I missed that. And so that's tough when you have
and like
I got one other thing to say, but go ahead.
No, sorry. I didn't want to.
Okay, no. But then the other thing I think too is, a lot of the systems early on, like we're talking about just the evolution of the game. This is Destiny 2 year 1, not Destiny 1 year 4. Right. And so that I think is people's biggest challenges. A lot of these systems they're new. We maybe don't like them, like the mod system. Do you like the mod system?
No.
No, nobody really does. Like I have not met one person who says, I really understand the mod system. Now, even this Nightfall system, does it make, me too, but it's super convoluted.
Don't really care that much. Yeah.
Still don't really care. And so that is, I think, their challenge. They're trying to rework all these things. Do you guys remember in the first part of Destiny 1 when you had to upgrade all your weapons at Xur?
Yeah.
Your exotics?
Yeah.
That was right before House of Wolves, before Etheric Light came in. It was a convoluted mess. Xur came every week, and you're like, what's happening? I can only upgrade a certain weapon with a certain... what if I don't have that weapon? I see all these other weapons. Can I buy that weapon? No, you can't buy the weapon. You can upgrade
the Etheric Light and all that was...
Yeah, it was weird, though.
You're talking about Etheric Light, right?
No, this is before Etheric Light. It was
remember.
a different way, right? And so they've introduced all these things, and every single time they relaunch or do something else, they're trying to understand what's happening. Do I have to cash in my bounties? Do I have to turn them in again? How do I pick them up? They have a lot to do now, and it's difficult, but they need to do it, and that's what all these incremental updates are.
It just starts with the Guardians, right? Like I haven't changed my. I never use the other striker. I run a Striker Titan for PvP.
Yeah.
I never use the other, class ability, the little other section, right? Like, why take all of the talent trees and then group them into pods?
Yeah.
That kind
For
of thing.
the casual audience.
Yeah, so it's because
They
it's
said
easier
that.
for them to make people to make choices.
So that's interesting. But listen to what you're saying. So you're saying you never switch the talent trees. Didn't you just say that?
Barely, yeah.
No, before. I thought you said in Destiny 1 you didn't switch them.
No.
in D2.
In Destiny 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Sorry.
in Destiny 2, you don't have the option
You're right.
to custom build each little node to your particular playstyle. In Destiny 1, you had the option, and then the problem was that maybe let's call it 50% of the nodes are basically useless, right? So it was more like, all right, keep this system, but make all the nodes really powerful and useful, and make players have to make a tough choice between, wow, both of these nodes seem really, really good. Now I have to tailor a playstyle to each node and then itemize for that node in order to make the most of it. They could have done that with Destiny 2, and then they didn't. Instead, they just took all these nodes and put them together, and now you just make broad stroke choices. And guess what? Everyone's Guardian plays and runs kind of exactly the same.
And that's been kind of my concern. I brought it up back in Destiny 1 when they took out Tess Everest and then shoved her back in there to sell player stuff. That was concerning to me, and it's an overall design thing that I see developers do a lot, where they implement some way to add an additional revenue stream, and it impacts the overall experience. And it has been severely detrimental to Destiny 2 to the point that I'm the top streamer on Twitch. That shouldn't be happening.
You're the top streamer on Twitch for Destiny.
Yeah, that should not be happening for the Tuesday streams. You know, like it's absolutely crazy. There's like 1,200 people watching Destiny 2, whereas Destiny 1, through its life cycle, had more players, more viewers watching the content.
Top 10
because it was
usually.
exciting.
Yeah.
You know.
That was my question and related example. I was like, when you talk about relaunching Destiny 2, that's probably an example, right? It's like, can you bring back a skill tree?
Yeah.
In the cloud? That would be part of the relaunching experience, right? Maybe.
Yeah, that would be true, Fran, but I think they're locked into what they've built for Destiny 1, the infrastructure, so they can only do so much. John Wise Newsies has been tweeting a ton about what they're doing with PvP. That's exciting. I know people that are really hungry for that March update.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think it's impossible, right? Like, if you take a look at a game like...
Here it comes.
World of Warcraft.
Oh, there it
Like,
is.
those talent trees evolve
true, though.
so much over time. Like, if you were to take a look at the talent trees every what's up?
They can't fix the armor problem in the raid because it's too hard. You really think they're going to be able to fix this massive implementation that they've done?
I'm not
for
a
the whole...
dev, but like I would hope so, you know? Or like I would try.
It sounds like it's really hard.
I put on my
Their
producer
work.
hat and I'm like, all right, this is the goal. You're the experts. What would it take to get there? Let's have a real discussion, because I'm not going to just sit here and accept that it can't be fixed.
I don't think you should accept it.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I totally get your point. You're right. They're up to their ears in these other problems. I think, but a memory problem in their engine and on multiple consoles and platforms is a little different than maybe expanding the skill tree, right? But not saying that they have time for both, though. I think that's meaning I agree with your skepticism. But they're different.
I mean,
they're completely different.
I agree with it too.
Do I want them to? Hell yeah. Can they? I don't know. You can't fix the armor problem in the raid, so I'm really worried about you implementing this
for sure
vastly different armor tree system for every character in the game.
Well, because now they're playing catch up. Now, I mean, and it's not that like they're looking at Reddit, but every time I go to Reddit, rather than a conversation about the game, it's like a giant Dear Santa wish list. Hey, Bungie, today.
What if?
Oh, what if? It's like, oh, and so now.
How likely is it that what they're trying to do with these minor changes is stabilize the ship and then just go radio silent for like a year until we get basically a whole new thing?
Probably.
We have May, right? And then we have fall. And I think fall is when it's going to happen.
We don't know that anything's coming out in fall, right?
No, we do. They said on the investor
did
call.
Confirm that?
Yeah.
They did confirm there's a fall update. That's right.
A big one.
Okay, that's right. But it hasn't been announced in terms of the title or whatever.
And realistically, that's probably when they can make the most changes. I mean, a lot of this stuff has probably been in the pipeline, up until like, the May launch, right? So I think that's the weird thing about seeing all this stuff. It feels like it's just even the Nightfall, the way it's implemented, like where you equip this and then you go here and then there's a ghost in the menu and then you have to like hit the up button in like a sub box in order to increase the.
It's convoluted.
Like the UI is just it just feels a little bit thrown together at the last minute, I will say. It's kind of odd.
I do hope that all of this, the declining player base, the lower than ever viewers on Twitch, is empowering Bungie and not Activision to start making design changes, because Activision's like, hey, like revenue's way down, do whatever you want.
Maybe.
Well, look what they did with Tess. They're like, well, revenue is probably trash on Tess. Just give everything away. Just let them get dust easy.
Crimson Doubles was good.
By hitting hopefully the bottom in some of that Eververse crap, it allows them to be like some people. I'm sure. Like I told you this was going to burn us, and now it has. So I think you're right. There's an empowering.
Years ago we said that.
Yeah. There's an empowering nature for sure. I think where things get this rocky, but I do think we're seeing it's a wake up call for Activision and them that you're like, you know what. I think there was an idea around making it, more accessible, but not at the expense of these other things.
So I encourage everybody on this show and everybody listening not to spend another cent at the Eververse. Don't support that kind of microtransaction system.
That kind. I want to make that distinction because, like, again, I've said it before. Like, I think there's a way to do microtransactions and make games more accessible to larger audiences without ruining the core gameplay. Right? There's examples of games that do it all over the place, but it's just problematic where now we live in a culture where it seems like anytime there's a microtransactions announcement, like just look at what happened with Battlefront. Like, man, the fervor, like gamers are more apprehensive than ever about microtransactions being in the game because it's companies like EA and Activision that implement them in wrong ways that seem like they're aggressive and coercive. Yeah, they go too far.
You know who did it really well? CD Projekt Red with The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Do it like that.
Valve with
they gave it away,
or Dota. You know,
they gave it away, and they have
all
brand
the
loyalty.
All the microtransactions that exist in Dota, like 90% of that revenue doesn't go to Valve. It goes to the players and the teams, and it supports esports. That's why like TI, like the international, their last pool, like TI5 or TI6, I don't know which one we're up to now, like $25 million prize pools for your favorite players for the game you love, and that's the fans' money going towards it. Like so. Microtransactions can be a good thing to support the community and the competitive game in the way that you want. It just has to be implemented the right way.
I will say this about Bungie: a lot of the stuff they do with their store, especially, is fantastic because that all goes to charity. Like that, that's an awesome example of doing something cool with that sort of cash flow. We also have to talk about some PvP changes. Fran, did you want to comment on something?
Oh, no. I was like, the same. Yeah, because we only have a little bit of time left.
Sorry, guys. I was going a little long on that segment. I got a little ranty. There's some big PvP changes on the way. Iron Banner is back next week. It's going to run March 6th to 13th. Looks like we got a grenade launcher, pulse, or AR, and a scout, maybe. Anyway, they look like Suros, Lincoln Green, and Fighting Lion. Reskinned to be Iron Banner weapons.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the term reskin because I don't know that they are, but that's what it looks like.
Suros PDX.
Anyway, I'm excited about Iron Banner being back. I actually really like Iron Banner. You guys can grind out your ornament, Fran. You can fix your PC and hop in there maybe.
Yeah.
What game mode is Iron Banner?
It's Clash this time.
What is it?
Isn't it?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, it is.
I had to. It's
66 Clash.
Not
what
Rumble.
Did he say?
March 27th, however, update 1.1.4 notes that 66 team sizes, which it will be this coming week, match time 12 minutes, score limit 125 points, respawn 7 seconds, all control zones start neutral. This is a change.
It's good.
What else did they change? Control zones take longer to capture, and more people increase capture speed. Guardians who capture get more super energy. It seems
great.
It seems so much like an old system. It's like
good ideas that they're bringing back.
I feel like I've done that before.
Yeah.
Destiny 1.
I'm going to go ahead and take credit for saying on this show.
I don't know about
Go
that.
back to the old more people on a point.
I'm glad you're taking credit for their original game systems.
Yeah.
Lars, I love you.
They were like that Finnegan guy.
I love you,
He's
but
on
this
the right
is
track.
the better system. It's just stick with your team, capture the point together. Like I have to force myself to break off and go to that other point.
But
it's just psychologically.
None of us like the way it is now, but obviously, do you really think they did it because it sucks? You know.
But here's the question:
They've tried something
why
different.
do you think?
I
Why
like
do
the
you?
system better. I'm happy it's back.
I mean, my message is fix it faster.
But
I
I
think
have a
we all
question.
knew right away.
Why do you think? Why make the change in the first place? Like,
Okay.
the whole like.
I actually remember talking to Lars
what
about that.
benefit was that?
The benefit was they were eliminating some systems that they felt that people actually didn't like to do in the game, and it slowed it down. So, like capturing the first point, they were like, "Well, everybody's there anyways. We'll just capture that first point for you."
Get out there and shoot.
I'm specifically talking about the more Guardians captures faster.
So-
why remove that?
Because you now no longer need to have a neutral zone cap. So you don't need to take a point that was from your enemy and then neutralize it and then recapture it. Now, when you're a single person on it, if you're on an enemy point, when you stand on it, it captures it immediately. So they eliminated the neutralizing part in Destiny 1. I don't know if you actually remember know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah.
So now, so the idea was, because there's only 4 people on the map, they just didn't want to have everybody like huddling around it, because if no neutral capping, it would have been capped in like 2 seconds, because that eliminates that, right?
Do you think the longer capture time is about as long as it would take to neutralize then recapture?
I mean,
bet you
that's a
it
good
is.
point. That's a good point. I'm
I
not
bet you
sure.
it's a reversion to Destiny 1.
But the point also was to get people out there moving around, and that's not like a
That
bad
too.
idea. It's like,
No.
I don't want to just stand here, go out there and fight. I don't think that was a bad concept, but how it gets through the game testing and gets in our hands, and then that was my only point. Is like, I think they hopefully arrived pretty quickly with us, are like, yeah, we kind of miss the old ways. So what? It takes so long to
when
get
you
It
make
just
a
it feels so less dynamic than the original Control.
when you make a perfect apple pie and then you make another one, you're like, let's add like
You know what?
20% more salt. Oh, that does not taste
that's
good.
Instead of
yeah.
sugar
That's
this
a
time.
fair way to look at it, though. I guess they probably didn't think it was a perfect apple pie. They were
yeah.
like, nah, it's okay. It's
Well,
good.
Well, now they're
because
seeing.
Who knows?
because in year one, a bunch of us complained that the apple pie was not perfect, and so I will say this from a competitive standpoint,
So it's Sean's fault.
it's Sean's fault.
Darn
I
you,
would
darn
take
if you
credit for that
don't.
too.
Sean's fault.
Yeah.
No, I think,
Always trying to
I think
improve.
the idea was when there's less people on the map and it was going to be 4v4 and that's it. The idea was that okay, just have one person on the map that potentially is going to get smashed, right? Because
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
four
it's
people
like-
clump up on a map and you throw a Nova Bomb, you're like, yeah, make
And
it
it
rain.
feels
Hey,
amazing.
that's their fault for clumping up like that.
Right,
At one point.
it is, but so that was the reasoning, I think, to say, hey, design a strategy where one person captures it, the other people can like back you up on the distance. The thing for me is that because they gave a point to multiple people on it, that was the issue. Because I would want to stand on the point to get, or the
Math.
capture session, to get the additional point, right?
I remember
So-
playing Control and being like, everybody use the power of math. Get on point 3. Just don't move, we'll win.
Yes.
Just they're on A. Let them get A. They don't have the team members to do it.
See, I just like the original Control because like we still have the multiplier thing going on, right? Where the more every kill you get counts for more if you have more points.
Yeah.
So like
when it's
with
captured.
it was way more dynamic because you could feasibly hold just 1 point and not die a lot and get
Yeah.
more kills and still win the game in the first one.
But I do like
so
that
there was more
bubble up.
strategery to it.
Yeah, strategy. I do like that neutral capping is gone. I will say that.
I mean, well, in a way.
Exactly. I mean, so I appreciate that when there's up to 3 people on the point, it captures faster. I was going to say something. The other reason why I liked it, there was a third reason I can't remember. But I'm
Always
glad.
things.
I know. I'm glad that it's going back to this.
Keep making these improvements. I cannot wait to try out the armor mods and the new exotic mods.
Right.
Like that's going to be really exciting later in the year. That's delayed way out.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we're talking so much about zone control capture. I get it, but we only have a few minutes left.
I was going to the next thing right now.
No, I am very excited about some of these upcoming March 27th changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Go fast update.
Rumble is back as an 8-player activity.
8.
That's something I know you were really excited to talk about, and you're excited to
Super
have back,
excited.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
you guys are PvP
I love
nuts.
the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rumble's awesome.
Rumble's really fun. I like that it's 8. I like that it's 8
Yeah.
for sure. It's going to be in a weekly feature playlist on the directory, and another event that you really liked. I don't like that it's weekly rotating,
Okay.
but Doubles is being worked on. It felt like we could take it further and give it more polish and flexibility.
Like
That's
that.
great.
I'm
Do
really
that,
excited about
but
that.
just give it to us now and then make it
Right.
cooler. Like, why are you holding out on us, bro?
Yeah.
Don't hold out on me on that PvP goodness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hold
like,
that on me, bro.
I'm super excited about Rumble.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
But I am super excited about
Yeah.
Rumble. It's one of the modes that I always just enjoyed hopping into. I knew a lot of the called sweatier players didn't really like it that much. They were okay with it. But everybody liked Control and Clash, but that was my mode. I really liked hopping in and
Warming up.
frankly, the
Rumble-
skill-based matchmaking was a little better too. That I would be in trials and playing at very high levels with people carrying me. Then I'd go into Rumble at like super low level people, pew, pew, taking everybody down. But anyway,
Please skip
it just
that.
sounds just like
Exactly.
But so I'm actually just saying about the mode, but less excited about the rotating playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Just make all the
So-
playlists available all the
Rumble's
time.
back,
Right.
But wait, it's not quite back.
But why do
To
you
be
think
fair,
that is, Fran? Why do you think that is?
Because here are the modes that exist, right? Quick play and competitive.
And
And
Within a
within
rotating
that,
playlist.
right, we have a little bit. But what I'm saying is I want access at all time to Rumble, and it's not going to exist.
I have a theory as to why
Yeah, so do I.
nobody's playing the game.
That's true.
yeah, of course.
So
It's a
no,
problem.
but no, it's a real
Nobody's
thing.
playing
Like you
the game.
can't have multiple different game modes when there's no.
I know why.
Yeah, when there's no population information. Like they don't give that stuff publicly in the game. Like Titanfall.
But how are you going to bring people back if the mode you want to play isn't there all the time?
Right, but imagine if you go to the mode that you really want to play
You matchmake
and
for 10
nobody's in it
minutes.
and you're matchmaking for 10
Of
minutes.
course.
Halo Reach, Titanfall, a bunch of other those games have the actual player queue numbers in it. That's very dangerous. I get why
But, like,
publishers
Whatever,
Halo
that
don't
just
don't
helps
wanna
you
do it.
understand. Like
Halo
For Honor did
5
that,
doesn't
too.
have that though, and it's still all of their playlists are available.
Yeah,
All
but they
I'm
have a player
saying-
base.
True.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying don't knock it till you try it. add Rumble back. Can we just have it and see how it does?
Yeah, private matches,
and like add it for a week. Like, can we get a system where we add more than that?
That's what this is.
But
even
but
at the
could
end of-
determine if it's drawing people out of other modes and matchmaking's taking too long, and then react to it.
Even at the end of Destiny 1, they had 4 nodes, right, that were always there, and it would always be like Iron,
skirmish.
or whatever it was called, the Iron Clash, Iron Control, whatever it was, that expansion. Then there was the rotating ones, right? That the other ones would change, and it's fine because like just identify the ones that people play most, give us those, and if you want to put a new one in, leave it in for a little bit. Maybe it stays like permanent for a couple of weeks, and if you don't have the player base, then it becomes a rotating thing. But at least when you're reintroducing it, make it available for everyone to try for a while.
Yeah.
But we don't have
me out
Bungie.
when you do this, by the way.
Somebody clip that.
Don't do that, please.
But we don't have Bungie's player data. We're usually just going by trials and other sources. Yeah, that gut feeling. So you think about Destiny 1 being at like the top of the Twitch directory for like 3 or 2 years or however long that was. Now,
A little hard to find.
exactly.
was
Well,
up there.
in the top 5 or 10.
It was in the top
I thought
10.
you were
always
like
top
number
10.
one.
No,
It's
no.
always top 10.
It's top 10.
Now
And
it's Fortnite, PUBG, Dota, LoL.
That's
Well,
right.
not even LoL.
Counter-Strike.
It's
Not LoL,
different.
Counter-Strike,
Yeah,
yeah.
but now, so
No, LoL's there.
without knowing those player numbers, that's obviously an experience that I think they're gonna rotate
I
it
get
for
it.
that way.
I'm just saying,
I know.
I really want to play Rumble every week. That's what I'm saying.
I
hear
get that.
My opinion.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. I will say I wish that where we can talk about this and where I definitely want to see that is in the ranked play mode.
Right.
Now, I do not want to have it so it goes away where, hey, you're playing the ranked playlist and now it's only available for you to play Rumble for a week at a time.
Well, CJ, the word ranked is really harsh to the casual market, so we're going to go with competitive.
I
Oh,
know.
man, I
so we
hate
don't
it
know
so
how.
How much you want to bet? Somebody said that in a conference room.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
Maybe. And who knows how that's going to roll out.
So
'cause-
many of the changes reek of like,
Yes.
let's make it so that casuals don't have their feelings hurt
Yes, and-
because they suck.
And
Well,
I-
yeah.
Bungie
And it's ranking a few ways.
Yeah, and I think they are aware of that now, and a lot of these updates are addressing, hey, let's get the hardcore back. But that is a hard. It's a hard.
But also, too, I mean, it's not like ranked as a leaderboard. It's an emblem that shows, right?
no,
It should be a-
better not be an emblem.
It is.
No,
I've seen no leaderboard concept. Has that been shown?
no. But my point is, I don't want it to be equip this emblem to see your rank.
I don't know. Well, maybe it will show
I
you within
agree.
the mode where you're at. I get, but
Put
maybe
it
there's
on
no
the
leaderboard.
scoreboard.
Right?
Do that.
Maybe it's out.
MMR.
Sorry, we haven't seen it yet. I guess I'm very skeptical.
No, I know. I want
When
it
they
to
talked
be.
about the emblems is some of the first things they talked
They
about.
have. I want it to be, if I'm playing this game mode, this is what like the same way Halo 2 and 3 was. This is my skill in the game mode. Or in Halo 5, I'm playing doubles. I'm playing Rumble. I'm playing this. I have a different skill and a
At
different
any
rank
point-
in any of those game modes.
At any point in Halo, I can jump onto a Spartan's profile.
She's Katie.
Yeah, see their KD, see their assists, see how many games they played, see all their medals, all their achievements, their stats for every mode and every playlist they've ever played.
And it's bragging rights when you get there,
It's
and if
great.
you're not
yeah.
there.
And if you're not there, then it's motivation to get better.
I hopped
like,
in a Rainbow the other day. They're like, "Oh, are you a blueberry? Are you like rerunning as a blue?" And I'm like, "No, I just haven't played in like 2 years."
yeah, like this whole idea of like
But it was
hiding
still awesome.
KD and hiding achievements from someone and only giving them the choice to put it out there on an emblem. Like I think that sucks.
yeah, only being able to see your opponent if they have the emblem equipped? No!
Yeah.
No!
I don't want that.
Absolutely not!
I was worried that was step one. In other words,
No.
I thought it. But do we know? Otherwise, I don't think so.
We don't, and
But just
that's
the thought,
the image that made
thought
me
of
nervous.
like if you have a 0.3 KD, you don't have to wear the KD emblem, so people don't know you suck. Like that sucks.
no, you're
They're
hiding.
gonna
I want to
know.
know if you suck.
Yeah, where do you see and find the info? Who knows? But
They're gonna know when I boot them to orbit.
STTracker.com, an external platform.
Anyways, March 27th update, very, very important. Go fast. A bunch of PvP changes. Speed increase
Titan
needs
skating.
to happen. Like a lot of that stuff that comes back. It's a mobility side of the game. So 8 players, I actually think is really good for Rumble, and I think 6v6 and getting back to that will be good as well. But it does need to happen in tandem of some of these speed increases, and hopefully that makes it feel a little bit more like the old school Destiny PvP.
Definitely, we're all excited. And so, just to recap, Nightfall scoring, good improvement.
Yep.
Excited about the PvP changes. Keep doing stuff like that until the fall update. All right, that's the end of the show. Guys, do you have any final points that you want to make before we wrap it up?
Now we got a busy day still ahead of us, but I'm excited to play Nightfall, get my computer working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good luck,
You know what, computer, I never have to just get working. My Xbox.
Eric.
Oh, hey Sean.
agree.
Hey Sean, does your Xbox run the game at 120? Oh, it doesn't.
Does
All right,
120 make
right,
the game
sorry.
Doesn't
better?
have to be
It really does.
PC versus Xbox. I love all.
We knew this was coming. The X was coming.
The X is great. You should
Excluding
get
the
an
Wii
X.
U,
No,
I'm
that
pretty.
was my
I
final
like a lot of
comment.
that.
I have no final comments.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. And until next time,
Guardians out.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to know when we go live. We do live streams regularly with the community where we answer your questions on air. And also, you can check out this playlist of all our full episodes of Fireteam Chat. See you next time.